Reelfoot Lake in western Kentucky is home to thousands of migratory birds. Winter is one of the best seasons to see these birds on their journey. Let's travel to Reelfoot Lake.
Reelfoot Lake is such a unique place. It's an invaluable and irreplaceable resource. And it's valuable to so many species and the people that live around here. So many species and people depend on it.
It's just magical. It's got, you go to another lake and there's not little trees that are growing up in the middle of the water. Of course, we've got our eagles here and osprey nests that are so close to the water you could almost reach up and touch them. They're so close. So you can see things up close and personal here. This place exists because we are here for protection and sanctuary for waterfowl. We were established in 1941 to protect these waterfowl. When they come through during migration, we want to make sure we have a nice habitat for them. And we manage the food for them. We grow lots of corn and natural vegetation for the waterfowl solely.
Reelfoot Lake is positioned in the heart of the Mississippi Flyway, so it's an important stopover site for migrating and wintering waterfowl. So it's important that we provide the right resources at the right place at the right time for those migrating and wintering birds, so that they can get the nutrition and the protection and the rest that they need to continue migration and return healthy.
The Reelfoot Lake area is about 30,000 acres or so. The Reelfoot National Wildlife Refuge is 10,428 acres. So we manage the upper third of Reelfoot Lake for the migratory waterfowl. It was formed by earthquakes in 1811 and 1812. There was a series of almost 2,000 earthquakes, and many people think that it was just, an earthquake or two, but there was, I believe the number is 1,874 total earthquakes that occurred in this area between December and March of 1811 and 1812. So it was a very short amount of time, and many earthquakes happened at that point. The largest one happened on February the 7th at 3 o'clock a.m., and pretty much what happened, the land where Reelfoot Lake is sunk down, and it formed a dome in Tiptonville. They call it the Tiptonville Dome, and the water from the Mississippi River backflowed into this area and filled it up, and that's how Reelfoot Lake was formed. So natural lake, there's lots of stumps. There was a swampy forest before it was a lake, and so that's where you have all the stumps underneath the water, which of course they all came in there and were logged eventually, but you have a lot of stumps underneath, which makes it a really good fish hatchery because all the stuff underneath the water.
The Refuge System is the only national network of lands dedicated solely for wildlife conservation, and so that's what we're here for. In short, wildlife come first on national wildlife refuges. Now, in addition to that, public use is extremely important, and that's what we're ultimately here for, is for the benefit of the American people. And so we have 6 priority public uses, or public recreational uses, that are prioritized, and those include hunting, fishing, outdoor photography, wildlife observation, and as well as environmental education and interpretation. So with those 6 uses, as long as they are compatible with the refuge's purpose, then they're allowed on the refuge. This area, northwest Tennessee and southwest Kentucky, has always been known for its hunting and fishing, even before the earthquake. And so it seems that after the formation of the lake through the earthquake, it just added to that reputation. And so as far back as after the earthquake in 1811 and 1812, as far back as the mid-1800s, people began setting up hunting camps, hunting and fishing camps, and these hunting clubs, and some of them are still active today. Ever since then, it's been known as a popular destination for sportsmen all over. Well, Reelfoot Lake is known for its waterfowl heritage, and there is no other place like it. And so to come to Reelfoot Lake and the refuge and to see 10,000 ducks or geese in just a few acres is really spectacular, and there's not many places where you can go and see that. You add to that the bald eagles that are following the ducks and geese down through the system, and that's just icing on the cake. Yeah, that's one of the most rewarding things, just to see people come away and think, man, why don't we come here more often?
In January, we have thousands of ducks and thousands of geese Not a lot of vegetation this time of year. You see a lot of ice sometimes, but you get to see a bigger variety of your ducks. You know, during the year you have, year-round you have ducks like your mallards and your wood ducks, but during the wintertime you have gadwalls and you have widgeons and you have pintails and different types of teal and scaup and just all kinds of different types of ducks that you don't normally get to see in the rest of the year. Yeah, you're talking several thousand, and it depends on the weather. When we get a nice cold front in, that's going to push more birds this way, and you can see, you know, several thousand birds. But they've documented 90,000 birds in some areas. It just depends on, you know, where they're located and the type of weather that comes through here. But yeah, it's easy to see 10, 12, 15,000 birds on the refuge at a given time.
Well, that's one of my favorite parts about Reelfoot Lake is that if you come in the winter and you come back in the summer, you feel like you're at a different place. Each season is so different with different species you see, with different vegetation or lack thereof, the ice, everything just looks so much different that you could come back in 4 different times of the year and just feel like you're in a different place. It's extremely magical. There's something majestic about the 200-year-old cypress trees out there in the middle of the lake and canoeing through it, and just it sets you back in time. It really does.
It's amazing. It is fantastic. It's something different every single day. You get to see things that a lot of people don't get to see. Who gets to go to work and hear geese flying over you honking, and you get to drive to another area and you see thousands of ducks flying up and eagles flying over them trying to catch them for food. So it's wonderful to work here. I absolutely love it.
It's what it's all about. It's why we're here. We're here as a showcase of a unique wetland, and to give people, and especially youth, exposure to that, to let them know what's out there, and to let them know, to show them what their ancestors had the foresight to see the need to protect, and so that they can have that same mindset, and they can bring their grandkids out here to do the same thing.